Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everyone. What was that on my nose? I think some tissue. Happy hump day. Hey, 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 guys. Come on in. Good afternoon, Katrina. Good to see you. Good afternoon, everyone. I pray that you are having a great day, that your week is going well thus far. I wanted to be obedient to God and to get on here and release this word that God has given me. Um, Hi, good afternoon, Angela. Good to see you on YouTube. Hi, Elder Nikki. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you all for joining me. Do me a favor. Hey, Chavez. Good to see you. Do me a favor and share this broadcast. Hi, Deidre. Share the broadcast. Invite people to watch. Let them know that I am live. Let them know that I am on here. Hey, Sasha. Hey, Prophetess B. Good afternoon to you all. Thank you so much for joining me on your lunch break, on your 15-minute break. This is really only going to be about a 15-minute word. So I need to jump in as soon as possible so that I can get on with the other tasks that I have going on. Thank you for tagging people. Thank you for sharing. Tag, 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 so that people can watch it after their lunch break or this evening. They will know that I broadcasted on today. But I have a word for you. If you don't know by now, typically when God gives me a word to share, I experience it first. So that's just the way that God works through me. Oftentimes he will take me through something. Thank you so much for tagging people, Katrina. Hi, Elder B. Hey, Michaela, thank you for tagging people. Somebody tag Gary as well if you're Facebook friends with him. Because he requested that y'all tag him when I go live. But I am definitely an experiential prophet where God oftentimes takes me through things before I release it. And so I often, thank you, Prophetess B, I often experience something first, and then God will say, share this word with the people. So I thank you guys so much for jumping on, because this is definitely that type of word. Hi, Pastor LaShonda. This is definitely that type of word where I experience something and God says, share it. So I'm not going to prolong it any longer. Anyone else who jumps on can jump on at the end, or they can watch the replay. So welcome to you all who are watching the replay as well. So, just to give you a little background on this word, my husband and I are currently in the process of getting ready to sell our home. We're building a new home, which is going to be our final, I call it our forever home. This is our actually our third home purchase, but it's our last one. We don't plan to move again. And but the home that we're in now, we've been in for 6 years. So there's a lot of sentimental value to this home. There's a lot of memories connected. Thank you all so much. There's a lot of memories connected to this house. And on Monday, my father-in-law, he's our realtor, he came over to the house to speak to my husband and I so that we can prepare to put our house on the market. Thank you all so much. And something he said, it just really hit me. And God began to speak to me about the season, about what should be released in everyone else's life as well. Thank you all so much for the congratulations. To God be the glory. It was all God's doing. It was all God's doing. It's definitely an exceedingly abundantly type of situation. So to God be the glory. Hey, Shan. I saw Brittany jump on here. Hi, Elder Shar. Thank you guys for sharing, for tagging, and for joining me. But so we're going through this process, and he's telling us all the things that we need to do to prepare to sell this house. And something he said hit me so hard. He said, you need to accept the fact that this is no longer your house. He said, if you want to sell this house, You need to accept the fact, and you need to take on the mindset that this is no longer your house. You need to remove the personalized aspects of the house. You need to take down your family photos. You need to detach yourself from it emotionally. He said, because if you want to be able to move into your new house, you got to sell this house. And in order to sell this house, you need to accept the fact this is no longer your house. You're living here. My God, this is good to me already. You're living here, but this is no longer your house. And God started to speak to me, because my husband was like, man, this move, it feels like not just a move, but a actual changing of seasons for us. He said it feels like we're going into a new phase of our life. And I said, you're exactly right. He said, you're exactly right. This isn't a regular move. This is a change of chapters for us. It's like we're closing one chapter, opening another. But the thing that God was telling me, he said, in order for you to enter into this new chapter, you have to let go of the emotional attachments and the mental connections to your former place. In order for me to be able to effectively walk into the new thing, I have to accept the fact that even where I currently exist, this is no longer home for me. I'm here for the time being until the door opens for my next season. But I know I'm in a place of transition. I know I'm about to move. So I need to go ahead and start getting myself mentally prepared that where I am isn't my permanent place. My God, my God. Where I am isn't my permanent place. Because so often we think because we are physically still in a place that is our permanent place. But how many of you know that you can be physically in a location and it not be your permanent place? That you can be physically in a location and God is already transitioning you spiritually and mentally into your new level and into your new season. Don't you get so caught up with where you are physically that you have not opened up the opportunity for God to move you naturally and spiritually into your next season. Many of us cannot enter in because we have not mentally prepared ourselves. We're still mentally and emotionally connected to the former thing. And this is why the Bible tells us in Isaiah 43, when he says in verse 18, he says, do not remember the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you know it? So notice before he said, I'm going to do a new thing, he says, do not remember the former things and don't consider the things of old. He said, don't remember the former things. Don't consider the things of old, because the new is coming. I'm doing a new thing. It's going to spring forth, but shall you know it? You can't know it if your mind is still in the past. See, this is what he means by, will you know it? Will you be aware of it? Will you acknowledge it? Will you know that you're in a new season? Will you know that you're a new person? Will you know that you're in a new level? Will you know that there's newness around you? You can't identify new things when your mind is still considering and meditating and remembering the things of old. When your spirit is still connected to the old things, how can you walk into a new season? I can't close this former door if I'm still in there. I can't close myself in it. I have to leave that place mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Even if I can't move physically yet, I can move mentally. Somebody better receive that on today, because some of you are being bound by where you are physically, and you have not even allowed your mind to begin to dream and visualize and move at the rate of the Spirit. God can move you into a new season without you physically moving. Don't think because, I'm not in the car that I want, or I'm not in the house that I want, or I'm not in the job that I want, or my business isn't where it wants, that you cannot move forward. God is still progressing you. He's still growing you. He's still advancing you. He's still opening doors for you. He is already moving you into your next. Don't you get caught up with where you are physically. My mind has to go. Hallelujah, somebody. Thank you for jumping on, Apostle Marcus. My mind has to begin to move at the rate of the Spirit. I'm always telling my sons and my daughters and my members and my mentees and my counselees this. I say, you got to learn to move at the rate of the Spirit. And this is the thing about the Spirit. The Spirit moves before my understanding. The Spirit moves before the physical manifestation. The Spirit is constantly moving. The Spirit is moving at a different speed. And many times we can't keep up with the Spirit and with the plans of God because we always got to understand it first, and we always have to see it first. And what we do is we slow God down and we make God drag us because we want him to give us understanding naturally before we can obey and before we can move. But what it is to walk with God is to move at the rate of the Spirit. And that means I move in obedience. I don't move in my natural understanding. I move by faith and I move by trust. So when God says go and when God says make a decision, I begin to move off of what his word says, not off of what I see or what I understand. And so many of us can't move into our new thing and we don't even become aware of the new thing because we are still in the past because our minds are so doggone slow and our understanding is so slow that we're stuck in the past. We ain't even in the present. We're stuck in the past. God is saying catch up to the present and then begin to move at the rate of the future. But we can't even be aware of what God's doing. Many of us are unappreciative of what God has done because we're not aware of it because we are so caught up on the past. We're complaining about what he's doing. We're complaining about what we're not. We're complaining about us not having this or having that. And we don't even realize that he has moved us beyond where we used to be. And he is saying, if you want to go forward, you have to disassociate yourself. You got to begin to divorce where you are in the past. And when my father-in-law told me that, he said, if you want to sell this house, you have to accept the fact that this is no longer your house. You live here, but your house is being built. The house that's really yours is being built right now. And if you want to be able to move in that house, you got to accept the fact that where you're living now is no longer your house. Do you understand that God is building something for you? He is building your future. He is building your purpose. He is building things for you. And he's saying, in order for you to obtain what I'm building, you have to begin to release yourself from the old thing. You have to begin to release yourself from where you currently are. You may have to reside here naturally, but I need your mind to begin to enter into the new thing. I need your mind to begin to enter into what I'm building. Let your mind begin to enter into what God is building. He is doing something new in your life. He's reconstructing you. He is reconstructing your future. He is building destiny, but we can't walk into it and move into it because we are too tied to where we are. I need you to allow God to allow you to see through your spiritual eyes and to be able to accept the fact, oh God, because this was the thing that really got me too. As my husband and I began packing up boxes, we've been packing up boxes, trying to get our house ready. So when they put on the market, people can come and they can view the house. So we got to declutter and depersonalize, and we're packing stuff up. And the weird thing is that I'm packing stuff up here, but I'm still not yet in my new place. I'm packing up stuff here, but my new house is still a frame. It's not move-in ready. I cannot go live there yet. It's still being constructed, but I'm having to pack up this. There it is, Elder Nikki. I'm in between. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. I'm in between. I'm in transition. Because I'm packing up here, but the new place ain't ready yet. And what did I tell the ladies at Sister Circle? I said, you got to accept transition for what it is. You had to accept transition for what it is. Stop trying to make transition comfortable. Stop trying to make transition clear. Stop trying to make transition secure. That's not what it's meant to be. Transition is in between. Transition is when this place ain't closed yet, but this place ain't open yet. My Lord, have mercy. I'm packing up this level, but I ain't entered into the new level. So that means now all I have to do is begin to do what I'm supposed to do while I'm in this middle place, so that I can ensure I'm ready. Once this new level opens, once this house opens up, I'm already packed up and ready to go. I'm already releasing myself from where I currently am, and I'm preparing for the next level. Am I in the next level yet? No. Have I totally left the former level? No, but I'm preparing. And see, many of us can't prepare in the middle because we're too busy complaining about it. Many of us can't prepare in the middle because we're so busy being frustrated about it. We mad that this level ain't opened up, and we mad that I can't leave this level yet. Well, God says that's not the timing. The timing is you better be patient and tarry here in the middle so that I can prepare you for what's next, because I will not be found unprepared. I need somebody to declare it on today. I will not be found unprepared. I'm glad this is helping you, Angela. I will not be found unprepared. My God, somebody better receive it. I'm not going to complain about the middle. I'm not going to fuss about the middle. I'm not going to be frustrated about the middle, but I'm preparing in the middle. I'm boxing things up because I know that this season is coming to an end. This season is coming to a close. So I'm boxing up what I need to box up. And though my new season and my new level has not yet opened up, I will not be found unprepared. I am going to ensure that I'm boxing this stuff up, that I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to do. I'm not going to look to God to do the things that he has tasked me with doing. I didn't say, God, come pack up these boxes. God, come do the stuff that we need to do to put the house on the market. God said, I already created provision for where you're going. You have to handle the transition. Lord have mercy. God said to me, I have already created provision for the new place. I opened up that door. I set that thing in place. I gave you favor and I blessed you with this new house. I've already given provision. The new level is waiting for you to walk in it. But what you got to do is start to box up and handle this stuff in the middle. That's your responsibility. That's not my responsibility. You got to prepare because I already gave the provision. Lord, somebody need that word today. God already gave the provision. It is up to you to prepare to walk in it. Stop trying to make that God's responsibility. He says, this is what you're supposed to do. I've given you these assignments. I've given you these responsibilities. I've given you these tasks. Now stop trying to toss it back on me because I've already showed you that you got to box the stuff up. I already opened up this new level, but you got to box the stuff up. You got to move from this place to this place because I've already given you provision to receive your new level. But if you don't prepare in the middle, that's not on God, that's on you. If you don't prepare in the middle, that's not on God, that's on you. Because guess what? A time is going to come where someone's going to buy this house that I'm in. And if I did not box things up and prepare to leave, and I didn't do the preparation to get into our new house, and we didn't do that preparation, guess what happens? I lose both. I lose the former place, that door is closing, and I can't yet enter into the new thing because I didn't do my part. And see, we get mad at God when we fail to do our part. We say, God, what happened? Why did you allow this? Why are you letting this happen to me? He says, I created the provision. I gave you favor. I gave this to you, but you didn't prepare. You were too busy being stuck on what you had to give up. And you were too busy being frustrated because you're uncomfortable. And you were too busy being mad because you're being stretched. You're too busy complaining because it's inconvenient, because it's uncomfortable, and you didn't prepare for what was next. I will not be found unprepared. I refuse to squander the blessings and the favor of God. Do you hear what I'm saying? Hey, Sandra, good to see you, hon. Do you hear what I'm saying? I refuse to squander the blessings and the favor of God because I didn't want to be uncomfortable, because I didn't want to do the work to prepare, because I didn't want to allow myself to mentally leave the old and prepare myself for the new. Some of you, your task for this season is transforming your mind. You need new wineskins. I was talking about this the last Wednesday when I did Bible study, and I was talking about how the Bible talks about us becoming new wineskins, because we cannot receive new wine in old wineskins, because old wineskins are restrictive. They don't expand. They're hardened. And when you put new wine in old wineskins, that new wine begins to ferment, and it starts to expand and release gases that makes the container expand. And when you have an old wineskin that's hardened and it's not pliable and it doesn't allow stretching to happen, it bursts because it cannot handle the new thing. And many of us want new so bad, but we will not allow God to make our mind new wineskins. We won't allow God to make our heart new wineskins. We won't allow God to make us change so that we are flexible. When you say, God, I want new, you have to become flexible, because you're no longer going to be on the old routine or the old track or the old way of thinking or the old practices. You are not on that old. You are on that new. I'm on that new. If I want new, then everything about me has to be made new to accept the new. So that means I can't ask for new with the old mindset. I can't want new with the old language. I can't want new with old habits. I can't want new with old actions. I need new. Everything needs to be new for me to receive the new. I'm on that new. I'm about to put a shirt out that says that. And it's about being new, mindset, actions, heart, everything, so I can receive the new. I'm on that new because I can't have the new and still be old. New goes with new. New things from God require a new you. New goes with new. I cannot ask for new from God and still be in the old place. The moment I begin to request God for new, I have to allow him to make me new, because I'm going to have a new way of thinking, new practices, new habits, and sometimes a new circle. I will get that done stat. But it's required. Do you hear what I'm saying? It's required for me to be able to walk in the newness of God. So this has to change. This has to change. This has to change if I want to walk in the new, because it's going to stretch you. It's going to change you. It's going to change everything. And I need to be ready to receive it. So God is telling me to remind you that in order for you to enter into this new thing, you need to start to emotionally and mentally detach yourself from the old. Do you know that when Jesus called out to Lazarus, when Lazarus was in the tomb, and he said, Lazarus, come forth. And then he told them, untie him, loose him, and let him go. So he said, take off the grave and the burial clothes off of him and let him go, because he was no longer dead. He called him forth. Life came back into him. And he said, loose him from all the former clothing that showed death, that represented the grave, that represented death. He said, loose him. Somebody needs to say, God, loose me from everything that represents my former life, my former mindset. Remove the grave clothes off of me. I want to be loose from this thing, because I need to be free to go forward, to walk in life. I don't want any death to be around me. I don't want anything that represents my former lifestyle and darkness around me. I want to be made new. Loose me and let me go so I can walk into my new season. That's right. Dancing out of my grave clothes. Absolutely, Michaela. Yes. We are dancing out of our grave clothes. We're walking out of our grave clothes. Loose me. I'm ready to let go of the former thing. And it's funny, because as my husband and I started packing things up, at first it was challenging. As we were putting the pictures away, as we're putting different sentimental things and boxing up, at first it was like, man, this is real. But the more we did it, the easier it became, and the more excited we became of the new thing that we're about to walk into. The more excited we became about this new chapter, understanding that it's time to move on. And so for you, it may in the beginning seem challenging to disassociate yourself and disconnect yourself from the former things, and even from where you currently are. But the moment you start to really think about where God is taking you and what he has for you, and the purpose on your life, and the destiny on your life, and the blessings that are coming, and the opportunity to serve him, and the people you're going to help, and the lives that are going to change because of you walking in your purpose, the more you start thinking about what's to come, the less challenging it is to close that former chapter. The more I become future focused, the more I start to meditate on my destiny, on my future, the more I dream, the more I visualize, the easier it is to say, okay, it's time for this level to close. This is no longer my house. I'm here, but it's not my house. I'm preparing this house for someone else, because God has greater for me. And the thing that I want, the thing that's waiting for me, is what I prayed for. This is what I hoped for. How many of you know that you can pray for a thing and it still be hard for you to let go of the former thing? God can be trying to give you what the desires of your heart, and you can still struggle with letting go of the former thing because it's comfortable. Do you hear what I'm saying? It's because it's comfortable. It's because it's familiar, because there are memories connected. There are emotions connected. And for some of you, you can't accept the fact that God can be telling you to leave something and to change something that's comfortable. Some of you have jobs that God is saying it's time to move on. Some of you have habits where God is saying it's time to move on. Some of you have friendships where God is saying it's time to move on. It is time to move. It's time to shift. It's time to begin to walk in the fullness of who God has called you to be. Hey, Letitia, I see you over on YouTube. It's time for you to walk in that thing. And you can grieve it, and you can allow yourself to be sad and cry over it, but don't stop packing. You may grieve it, but don't stop packing. As we're packing, we're reminiscing. Oh, remember when this happened? Remember when we first moved in? Remember when Sammy was just one when we moved in? But guess what? We're still packing. I can reminisce. I could shed a tear or two, but I'm moving forward. I'm moving on. Moving on. Somebody need to be playing Mally and Jonathan McReynolds song, Moving On. Because that's what's time for us to do right now. Moving on. Moving on. Hey, moving on. It's time to move on. Okay? Because the moment you start to become complacent, oh, congratulations. That's wonderful, Letitia. I'm talking to someone who's on YouTube, y'all. She just started her own private practice. Yes, the moment you start to become complacent and you notice you're not dreaming anymore and you're not evolving and you're not growing because you've gotten too comfortable, it's time to move on. Don't stop packing. Keep going. Okay, so I pray that this word bless you guys. If you're jumping on at the end, make sure you go back and watch the replay from the beginning. If you didn't already share, hey Terrence, if you didn't already share, make sure you do that and you tag some people to watch the replay. I just had to share that with you guys, but I gotta go so I can finish doing some things I need to do. But I pray that you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you're looking for a place to worship on tonight, to come to Bible study, join us at Liberate Church. You can find out more about us on our Facebook page at Liberate Dallas or our Instagram page at Liberate Dallas, or visit our website, www.liberateDallas.com. Also, don't forget to make sure that you connect with me on social media, on Facebook and IG at I am Cherie Eddington. If you want more information about my ministry, my business, Cherie Eddington Enterprises, if you're looking for a speaker, facilitator for your next event, check me out. Connect with me at www.CherieEddington.com. I love you all with the love of Christ. Have a wonderful day. Keep packing. Keep moving forward. Don't be found unprepared. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.